craft brews and casual conversations. It is a great day. It's Wednesday. My name is Douglas, and I'm from Southern Illinois, and for some reason, I talk like this. Look it up. It's a real thing. We have a little twang in Southern Illinois. Well, when I'm not walking my dogs outside, my dogs really hate me for some odd reason. They like to urinate on my leg, and sometimes they'll leave a little residue from the poop on my shoes. And I don't understand. Lots of opportunities for them to improve the bathroom habits on my things. I like to, what I was saying is I like to put on jorts sometimes, and I like them when they're real tight on my buttocks. Will really give me the defining look of my flat butt. And it's really great. I love the feeling. My accent has changed so much throughout this beginning. It's supposed, but no one really knows because whatever Southern Illinois talks like this. I don't know why, but like I said, I put on the jorts and I walk through the town on Sunday, and I root for the Chicago Bears. They're not really a great team, but I still do it because, God darn it, I'm a true patriot, and I take every opportunity to say the word opportunity. Speaking of which, you're here to listen to another great opportunity for your eardrums. While my friends Rob and Drew, they might not be, the highest calibers of guys, but I tell you, sometimes I sit down by them and I explain to them, you have the opportunity to really provide some great content. Jump down into morality, and that's what we're going to do today on this program. So we're going to kick it to them. And once again, my name is Doug from Southern Illinois. Some people think I'm a real patriot.
Thanks, Doug. Dudes with Brews. Cue that intro.
You're about to hear the greatest show of your life. Dudes with Brews on a porch with Rob and Drew.
Wow, Doug, you really rambled there. Now, see you later.
Yep, see you, Doug.
Doug likes to ramble sometimes. What a
Did
weird...
you notice how he couldn't say content? His accent totally changed when he tried saying content.
I don't know if Doug really knows who he is yet. He might be finding himself.
He's on a journey now.
First he was started with the Southern Illinois accent. Then he kind of went to Australian.
Got into Ringo territory too.
maybe Ringo. A little more continuity there, Doug. But we'll take your first submission and we'll air it for the people. You're welcome. And we also are going to pay tribute to Doug and his jorts by drinking Maplewood Brewing Company's Juice Jorts. It is 6% ABV. NA's on the IBUs again, Rob. I think IBUs are a thing of the past. I think along with 2020, all the great, horrible things that are happening in 2020, IBUs are gone.
Yeah, I think anything that refers to bitterness is going out the window because nobody wants to address the issue.
Could be. Juicy Pale Ale, double dry hop with Citra, Azacca, and El Dorado hops. If we didn't already cut the legs off your pants, they'd blow from the aroma.
Does have a good smell. I smelled it.
Yeah. So to take
smelled those jorts,
dude. These things. This is the IPA that I love to look at, bud. It's fucking juicy. You can't see through it. It just looks like juice. It smells so good, and it just looks delicious. I love it so much. I love these kinds of beers, and I look forward to taking this sippy sip. Oh boy, that is the stuff.
Yeah, it's got some bitterness to it.
It's got some bitterness to it.
It's got to be higher on the IBUs.
It's a dry, double dry hop, but it's, gosh darn it, it's delicious.
It's good for a bitter beer.
Oh, I love it. And I'm sad that these were the last two. I already drank two of them
Yeah.
previously, but I have to pretend like I have never had it before for the program.
Good job. I think that it's real believable.
Yeah, I think so as well. Rob, we're gonna do some things today.
Okay.
We're gonna hold the mics to our mouth,
Okay.
and we're gonna speak clearly,
Okay.
and we're gonna give the people what they want. So I think some people, Rob, you have a little bit of a mystique to you. People
Really?
don't-
At this point, I still do.
I think you have some mystique to you, and people really want to get down to the nitty gritty. What makes Robert tick? How would he act in certain situations? And Rob, I have concocted a handful of questions on which we're going to find out what kind of person you really are.
Awesome, because I'd like to know too.
Hasn't the years of therapy helped discover that, or no? Or does it just bring up more
That just
questions?
makes more questions.
So is it worth it?
Yeah.
You're just on an endless loop of questions and questions?
Yeah, instead of hating the person I don't know, I'm becoming more okay with the person I don't know.
Well, that's good. All right, so I've got some questions. Some of them are easy. Others, it kind of goes in from, kind of simpler questions into some real nitty gritty stuff.
Okay.
And I want you to be answered. I want you to be honest with your answers.
Planned on it.
Be candid if you will. And
I've heard that before.
and whatever you want to do.
Before it all gets edited.
I've never told you to be candid before until this moment. So I will make a promise I won't edit anything out. I haven't.
No, that's an old joke that you haven't edited much out since.
Right. It's been a while.
Been a long time.
A couple things I do edit, but you maybe don't notice. Who knows?
I probably don't because now I don't listen to them right away.
Wow.
I wait a while.
What kind of person are you? We're about to find out. All right.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Question 1, Robert. As you're sipping your juice jorts, all right? A building. It's on fire. Would you save one of your siblings or 4 strangers? You can only pick one. One sibling. So one sibling is in this burning fire saying, Robert, my brother of how many X number of years? I love you so much. You've always been my favorite brother. Save me, save me. And then you have 4 people that you don't know. Various ages. Maybe a family of 4. Screaming, stranger, stranger. We're in danger. And in this case, it's appropriate for you to approach us. What do you do? This is an easy question.
Is it?
I guess.
No. Obviously I'm sitting here in this room. I'm going to go brother.
Okay.
I feel
All
like
right.
I'd have to go brother. Now you got a couple like babies in the mix, 2 of those. It's
4 strangers.
It's a couple adults and 2 babies.
Yeah. Maybe put the 2 babies in your one arm.
Yeah. If I could
Save 2 out of the 4.
do that, that'd be great. I want to know why my brother can't just get out.
I don't know. He's
Maybe I leave him there because he's a
broke his leg.
failure.
Wow.
No, brother. I'd have to save my brother.
Okay. Cool. I like that. So second kind of easier question, I guess you could say. So you're strolling around the streets. You just saved your brother for a burning building. Those other 4 strangers, they gone.
Do I still get hero status?
I think so.
All right,
I
cool.
think so. You receive.
I have to see how these things pertain, how they affect me.
Right. So you're walking down the street. You stumble upon like some ancient artifact, and you're like, "What is this?" And then your brother's like, "Oh my God, Rob, that's the mystical thing." And you go, "The mystical thing that we always heard about growing up? Yeah, that mystical thing." That's what that conversation goes, or how it goes. And
We talk about the mystical thing quite a bit.
Yeah, and then you understand what it is, and you receive a power to grant a single wish to another person. Who would you grant the wish to, and why? Maybe I should have started with this one.
Maybe.
You get to grant one wish to one person. Who would it be, and why?
That's pretty tough.
I have an answer for you, but you answer first.
Maybe my brother Ryan,
Why?
because he seems like
He's gotten everything he needs.
I don't think. Well, that's the thing. I don't think he would use that wish to do something selfish.
Okay. Oh, all right. I like that.
That's kind of how I'm thinking about this. Like people that like, no offense to my parents or whatever, like, or people like even myself. I have places I want to go. I have things I want to get.
Right.
Ryan's in pretty good position in
sure.
life that I don't think that he would take that wish and be selfish with it.
All right. I like that answer. I'll tell you my answer, Rob.
All right, I want to know.
If I had the ability to grant one person a wish, I would give it to you.
Yeah.
And your wish would have to be to have the most successful podcast in podcast history, towers over Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, that would clearly be my wish. You wouldn't even have to suggest.
Well, I would
it.
just give it to you,
Yeah.
and then we both benefit.
Yeah.
So it's an ultimate win-win. So your answer was incorrect. Sorry.
I guess so, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Why would you go that route? Oh, I would give it to someone who would do something great with it. Motherfucker, you give it to me, and then
Granted, I just watched an environmental documentary about how the world's ending, so I'm in a weird spot right now.
Again, with the documentaries all the time.
You know what I thought about seahorses?
Have you really? You've seen it?
I watched, it wasn't a documentary, but I did get some information on how they found like these seahorse looking microbials in space that were living on
Really?
on a,
That's crazy.
yeah, like it was on the spaceship, like on our, what is it? What are we, Saturn or Voyager? What are our spaceships called now?
Spaceships? I don't know.
NASA ships. They
Shuttles?
shuttle, I guess. So on one, like they found on the outside of one of the windows, they could see that there was something there, and like they looked at it with a microscope or like, and there's no way it could have been there from Earth because they came through the atmosphere and it would have burned anything off of the outside. So it had to have been in space living. And that's not a full documentary. It was just something that occurred to me after the last episode.
What if seahorses are aliens?
They could be. They don't actually, like, they're so different than a lot of things on the, like, because the males
give birth.
Males give birth. They and I know like Lake Titicaca has seahorses in it, which is weird because they're supposed to be in saltwater, and that's like super high up in the mountains.
Maybe aliens are just really, really dumb.
Well, I heard that there's like 57 types of aliens, or 47 or 57.
Seahorses is one of them.
Could be.
Where'd you hear that there's 50 some types of aliens? A documentary?
Yeah, it was.
Of course it was.
It was the government files or something like that.
The government files?
Government NASA files or something like that.
Was it like, I mean, obviously it can't be that secretive if they're making a television show about
Well,
it.
the government's come out and said that there's aliens now, and in that.
Have they?
Yeah, and
For sure?
I'm pretty positive. A lot. I have heard that from other people as well as seen it on documentary like format. Like, there's releases, and then there's what's actually been admitted to.
Yeah.
And at this point, as far as I know and have heard, you can't believe everything you hear. I mean, even
Right.
that environmental documentary I watched today, it was like it could have easily been fabricated. I don't know.
I mean, documentaries in one way are biased, and they're made to sway the viewer to believe in one thing.
Yeah,
I mean, like that documentary that Paul McCartney's not the real Paul McCartney. There's that.
but that's true.
No, it's not. Did you watch there was some like cheesy, horrible, poorly made documentary about Michael Jackson and how he's not really dead?
No, I haven't seen that.
It was on Netflix for a while. I don't really know. I don't know if it's on there anymore, but
Finding Neverland?
no. No.
Oh wait, no, that was a Johnny Depp movie, wasn't it?
That was a good one.
I really got the wrong message out of that.
I like that. That's a sad movie though.
Okay, let's move on.
So next question. All right. You're at a different stage in your life. You have been raising up one of the most brilliant children for a year long. You're someone, you come and you're like, oh, this is my baby. Very, very brilliant. Super, super smart kid. All right. The hospital. So this is like the kid shows up type of deal. And
Okay.
It's your kid. And you've been now in possession, or I shouldn't say possession. You've been with this kid, the guardian, for a year.
Yes.
The hospital just informed you of a slight mix-up that the child actually is not yours, Rob. Would you exchange the child to fix that? So the question, I phrased it wrong. You've been with this kid since birth.
Okay.
Brilliant kid.
Yep.
And just great child overall.
Is it brilliant because of the work I put in?
Sure. The hospital just informed
Seems
you
far-fetched, but
of
okay.
a slight mix-up. They gave you the wrong kid. Do you exchange the child and fix that mistake? Or do you just say, no, you didn't. This is my baby.
How old is the kid? For a year?
I mean, let's just say it's 5 years.
5 years gets tough because
1 year's easier. I'm like, all right,
Well,
take
I'm-
it back.
I'm
Give me
thinking-
the real one.
I'm thinking more in terms of what's traumatic for the kid.
All right. So you're thinking of others in this.
Well-
Every answer you've gotten pretty much has been so far. You've been, really been thinking about others.
It's a curse.
Interesting. And a blessing.
No, no. I just for me, it's how attached and what will this kid remember?
Yeah. Okay.
My attachment to the kid. Yeah, that's gonna suck if I exchange. Exchange is such a bad word to use.
It
in
is.
this.
It is a bad word. I apologize.
But
you do the old switcheroo.
yeah, if you do the switcheroo, it's. I feel like I could get over that, but if the kid remembers, that could be tough.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if it was younger, you would do it. Older, probably not.
Yeah, I'd probably have to talk to the other parents too, I guess.
What if your real kid is just a real pile of trash?
It would make sense.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't think to me it doesn't come down to how smart, how whatever, how this or how that the kid is, because for me it's it's equal parts nature and nurture in terms of how a kid grows up. But it's but a traumatic event like that,
Yeah.
it would be tough. I guess if the other parents were just completely non-grown up, didn't care, I've seen some. Like my example, the worst parent I've ever seen or something.
Yeah.
They're 5 and they're still wearing diapers and
Not necessarily a bad parent.
I'm not. Yeah, but I mean, it's evident that I've known
They're neglecting the child.
Yeah, I've known
Sure.
kids whose parents are they get head lice, and their parents don't take care of it. They're wearing
horrible.
diapers at 8. They're
Sure.
know,
They're
clearly
being
not
neglectful.
trying to teach the child how to
Sure.
grow up.
Okay.
That's where I'd be in a really bad predicament, because part of you wants to save this kid from who's your kid, your flesh and blood, but then you'd also have to put a different, the kid that,
Sure.
I don't know, that's tough, but I think it depends on the age of the kid.
Okay. Fair enough. I only have 2 more questions, Rob.
Was I supposed to take longer to answer these?
No, that's all right. We're getting through it.
What would you do?
We'll analyze
You
the
have,
results.
you have kids, so just real quick, what would you do?
If I found out one of my kids wasn't mine,
Yeah.
I would say no, they are now, because I've put in the time and the effort, and I love these kids, and I'm not gonna. Yeah, no,
I hear that.
sorry. And I would take the other one. Give me my real baby too.
See, yeah, that would be a good, if that was an option where it's could I just go kidnap the kid and have 2?
Is it kidnapping if it's your own kid? Well, I guess it can be in certain.
Well, I think if you
circumstances.
take your kid, then they have the legal grounds to say, well,
Oh,
they
sure.
didn't kidnap my kid, but they have my kid.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Sue the hospital. Leave me alone.
That could be a good movie. You
Yeah.
ever see the movie Changeling? Angelina Jolie.
I know what movie you're talking about, but I have not seen it.
It's like a real story.
I feel like I've seen the end of it.
Pretty much
Does
like
it start on a plane or something?
no, I have no idea. I watched it once, but pretty much, and it's a true story from my understanding. What happened was like a bunch of kids got like abducted by some pervert, and then the town wanted to like cover it up, and they're just like, "Oh, we found your kid," and they just gave her some random ass kid. It clearly wasn't her son, whatever, and then like over time, it just sounds like there was this like crazy like pedophile or whatever doing like kidnapping all these boys and stuff, and somebody like spoiler alert says like at the end be like, oh, your kid got out, but like we all escaped, like I escaped as well, your kid was with me, but we got lost, and he potentially is out there somewhere. It's a weird movie.
I know there's like a morality question that is like, if you lived in a town where everybody was happy, everything was perfect, but to maintain that perfection in the community, there had to be one like in one house in a basement, like there was just somebody being tortured all the time, and everybody knew that was happening. Would you blow the whistle on it, or
is that like a short story or something?
I'm pretty sure that's like a morality thing. Like I'm pretty sure I heard about that in like a sociology class or something.
Weird.
And I might be getting it wrong. There's probably parts of it that I'm getting.
That's a good question. Answer the question. You can add to the list.
I don't think I could let a guy get tortured.
I don't think I could either.
Yeah, that's outside of my yeah. I don't have that kind of a I don't know. I guess I consider it to be a better thing to release the tortured person than to look at all the people that are living a perfect life.
They all know it.
Yeah.
And there's just some innocent person.
Yep.
Never done a bad thing. Like perfect citizen getting tortured.
Yep. See, like part of me, I guess, maybe the selfish part of me would go, what if that guy dies from torture tomorrow and they need to take somebody else and it's me?
Yeah. That's a good assessment. Also, it could be a good movie.
Yeah.
Good movie. All
right. What's up next?
All right. So you go to the one of the greatest places in the world, Quick Trip. You pick up a lottery ticket. All right. Get your lottery ticket, and you find out you win, Rob. But there's a caveat to it. You're given two options. All right. You can take the $10,000 that you just won for yourself, tax free.
Okay.
You get the full 10 grand handed to you in money, cash money, bro. Or you can share it with 100 strangers. While you can't pick who the money is given to, you are told all of them could really use the $1,000. Which one do you go for? Do you take the 10 grand?
This is one where
risk free, like in regard.
I take the 10,000. That one I don't even have a problem with. $1,000 isn't helping anybody. That's like
it could be. It could
but
be
$10,000. I need money. I've got debt, and I need
I thought this one. All your answers have been so thoughtful about other people. Fuck these people. 100 people there. They don't need it. They don't need it as much.
Now,
as
if it was 10 million. And I could give it out in $100,000 parcels and keep 100,000. Yeah, I'd do that. I'd give out the 100. But $1,000. No, that's not going to get anybody there. That's going to give them like a month's rent and some groceries.
What if they need that month? Go
to a homeless shelter. This is my money. I bought the ticket. No, I wouldn't be that harsh, but no, yeah, I think 10,000. I would just keep that. All right, and I wouldn't feel super bad about it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
In that sense, yeah, that one I'm going to be selfish on.
All right. Well, this is the last question I have, Rob, and it's a lengthy one. So let's. All right. You really need to dissect it. All right.
I will.
Your family is vacationing alone on a private stretch of beach with no lifeguard.
See, that's what taking the money gets you when you win the lottery.
Wow. Here we go. Your daughter and your niece, both the age of 7, they're best friends, eager to get into the water. They want to go swimming, but you caution them to wait until the water calms down. But they defy you because
I don't like where this
typical
is going.
child does that, and they sneak in anyway. You soon hear screams of distress and find them both caught in a strong current. You are the only swimmer strong enough to save them, but you can only save one.
Daughter.
You can only save one at a time. Your niece is a very poor swimmer and likely won't make it much longer. Your daughter is a stronger swimmer,
Okay, this
but
is
has a
interesting.
50% chance of holding on long enough for you to come back to her. Who do you save first?
Wow. That little last part changes it.
Yeah.
That's a good twist in there because otherwise, yeah, obviously you got to go with your daughter.
No, I
But
would
that
agree. What if it's a good son situation? Elijah. Well, we'll get to that. Answer this first.
I guess I 50% chance is pretty good. Versus a 0% chance that your niece is going to be able to hold on long enough. I'd have to. Man, that's tough. But in the moment, I'd probably go to the person that can't swim.
Yeah.
And then try my hardest to get back, and if I don't, become an alcoholic and.
And those situations are tough because I bet you somebody out there has been put into that scenario.
Oh yeah.
And-
Spider-Man for sure.
And regardless, you're deemed a hero as well as a villain in your own mind. What if it's a good son situation? Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin, children, they're little kids. The one, at the end of the movie, again, spoiler alert, this is like a 30-year-old movie. They're both hanging off a cliff. The son is a real POS. The nephew, Elijah Wood, golden child. And but the son is like pure evil. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the Macaulay Culkin character. Right?
Yeah. Well, who do you pick? Your own flesh and blood, or like your 25% flesh and blood?
Was that what it was, or were they? I forget.
It was his
what
nephew. It was their nephew.
It was their nephew.
Elijah Wood was their nephew. Yeah.
Yeah. After I feel like at the end of that movie, I was like, you save Elijah Wood
Yeah.
because his career is going somewhere.
Macaulay Culkin dies in a lot of his movies. I feel like. I mean, a good chunk of them. Maybe two.
I mean, when I
My
think
Girl.
Macaulay Culkin, I honestly do think The Good Son over like Home Alone
What?
and stuff. Yeah, that movie was my I really liked that movie when I was a kid.
It's a good movie, but you never place any movie over Home Alone when it comes to Macaulay Culkin. Never. Home Alone 1 and 2 are classics, instant classics. I could recite almost every line.
Really?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I
have to get started. Sorry to interrupt. I have to.
So where's John Candy from?
What do you mean?
John Candy's character, where's he from?
Chicago.
Why? What does
He's
he
in
do
a
there?
polka band.
All right, yeah, all right, good. Do you know the tarantula's name?
Tarantula's name?
Yeah.
I don't.
Neither do I. So it's not yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it wasn't.
I'm the guy that thinks of Macaulay Culkin as the bad son. So,
But yeah, I could if I started watching it, I would after the first few lines, I could probably almost recite verbatim the whole.
there was a while
movie.
where I could recite The Aviator.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, verbatim. I would do it at work. It would take, and I only left out that first scene where he's in the bathtub with his mom and he's spelling quarantine. Which I even knew that, Q, U, A, whatever, however it is. But after that, when it starts with him as an adult, yeah, I could do 2.5 hours of Aviator dialogue at work to myself. I love that movie.
I've only seen it. I think I've seen the end one time. That's interesting. All right, let me give you some other questions here. All right,
You can shoot, fire away.
you are an EMT on the scene of a crash that involves your spouse and the lover you didn't know that they had. They're both gravely injured. Your spouse's injury is the worst of them. You can tell it's unlikely that they will pull through. Meanwhile, the lover has a neck wound that will prove fatal if pressure isn't applied soon. Whom do you choose to work on?
So it's spouse. Even if I work on them, they might die.
No, it's it's yeah, you can tell it's unlikely that they'll pull through.
Even if I try and help.
Right.
And then the other person, I just need to shove my thumb in their neck and then they can survive.
I mean, you don't have to, you can put a nice little thing of gauze over it. You don't have to just shove your thumb in it.
I mean,
You barbarian.
these are things like on paper, I would help the person that could live, but in the moment, it would be very emotional and I'd probably try and save the person I'm in love with.
Okay.
I mean, that's these questions are so, there was, I just had a discussion with my dad the other day.
Yeah.
That gets into this area. Like, I don't know how you feel about guns.
Mm-hmm. They're fine.
I'm very anti-gun. I don't like guns.
I don't like them.
I don't
have any.
I don't really care if people want to have them. I guess that's not.
I don't care if people have them, but I feel like you don't need.
Yeah, I don't want one.
I agree. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've thought about it just because for personal protection, but at the same time, it's like, well, I'm gonna have to get a safe, and then am I really protected? Because by the time I open that safe up, I'm dead.
This is okay. So this is the question, because this is what me and my dad were talking about, and he was like, "You don't want a gun." Like, he was really kind of pushing the issue. Like, you don't want a gun for protection if things go crazy, and I was like, no, I don't, because having a gun means I might have to shoot somebody,
Right.
and I don't want to shoot somebody. And he was like, oh, even if they're attacking you or whatever. Now, this is where it got interesting to me, is that I was like, no, even if they're attacking me, I just don't think I think I'd rather not be I don't want to kill somebody because, but then he's like, he mentioned, what if they're attacking the people that I love?
Right.
And that was where I had to go, I think I would shoot somebody if they were attacking my family over if they were attacking me.
Me too. I would 100% agree.
But that's one of those questions that it's like, I hope I'm never in that situation, but
yeah,
it changes the way you think about it, because I really don't like the idea of having a gun.
I don't either. You are correct on that one. I don't.
It's getting chilly in here.
It is cold in here.
I said it's getting chilly in here, and I didn't have the mic up. Just letting everybody know in case you didn't hear.
All right. Here you go. You go out with your significant other for dinner at a new restaurant that you've never frequented before. It is in a part of town that you rarely visit. You are shocked to see that your friend's spouse having dinner with a very young, attractive person. From the way they are behaving, it's obvious that they're more than friends. The couple finish their meal and leave without seeing you. They behave very affectionately on their way out the door. What do? Fuck. I mean, you text your friend right away. You take a picture and send it to your friend.
Yeah, if that's where it's like, if I don't have proof, that may I would probably have to get proof before I said anything.
Yeah.
Because you can ruin a friendship by going and just saying, "Hey, this happened. Do you have any proof?" No.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How's that? That's not even a moral dilemma. That's easy.
Yeah.
You go, look at what your horrible significant other is doing to you.
I mean, if you're in that position of the person that's being cheated on, do you want to know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird.
Oh, infidelity. So funny.
Yeah. You and your family love the beach.
By the way, also, I would probably try and arrange it so that I didn't have to be the messenger on that.
Okay.
If I could get a hold of the person who's cheating's phone, send a message that is to the person that they're cheating with, and send it to their wife's phone, who's your friend, so you don't have to get caught up in it, or invite them somewhere so that they can see it.
Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Here we go. Here's one. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
You have worked years to be successful in your father's business. All right. You felt you were obligated to take over as he worked his whole life to build the business left to him by his father. So we're talking generations here.
All right.
Lots of levels here. However, the large business is in town have seriously cut into profits. For several years, you and your family have just managed to scrape by. Your father's health has declined and he has been hospitalized. He has a substantial life insurance policy that expires at midnight. If he dies before midnight, you inherit enough money to pursue a career that you've always dreamed of and provide adequately for your family. What do you do?
Are you asking me if I'd murder my dad?
I mean, in some regards, yes.
My real dad or my stepdad?
Real dad.
Probably not. Now, my stepdad, let me follow that up.
He'd tell you to kill him.
My stepdad, I would talk to him about it, and there's a good chance he would want that to happen. I'm just saying.
That day's pretty sick.
Yeah, you know, I'd have to run it by him at least.
Hey man, we got 15 minutes left.
Do you think you're gonna pull through, well, give me a percentage here.
You think? I mean, I got. All right. I'm telling you, 9 minutes until I can. Then I can't cash in.
Yeah, can you flatline in that time?
Yeah, I mean, are you? What's going on? Are you feeling it? Not feeling it?
How much is the machine helping right now?
All right, here's one. Now picture this is me, okay?
I never know what my parents are going to think about the things like that I say, because part of me feels like my dad would get that that's a joke, and then another part of me,
well, part of being on a podcast is where characters
they don't listen, so it's that's their, it's on them.
We're also characters of ourselves,
sort of, yeah. But it's like he should. If I
play into things more than what we,
if he brought it up to me, I might feel a little guilty because I would know he's listening, but he's not listening, so maybe he should feel guilty.
Well, then I would pinch it.
Yeah, that's right.
Cash it on that life insurance.
He would have seen it coming if he was listening to this episode.
All right. So this is me, all right? Call you up. Or no, I show up at your house.
Okay.
All right? Knock on the door. You open it. I'm very kind of distraught, all right? I tell you I've committed a crime, Rob. I explain that I was having trouble sleeping at night, and I feel that you are the only one that I can trust with my confession. A few days later, you read in the paper that someone's been arrested for the crime that I did. What do you do? I say, Rob, this is the crime I committed. I feel horrible. I can't believe I did this. I trust you to not call the police, but I had to tell somebody to somehow convince myself that I am liberated of this burden. And now you have to carry the burden with me. You read, and I go into detail. I did this and this and this and this. And then you read an article where it's like, did this? Oh, shoot. Drew did that. Oh, he did that and that. What do you do? But then some other person was arrested for it.
This is pretty easy for me, actually. Okay. I would try and make sure that person didn't go to jail, but in no way would I put your name out there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would try and cover for you.
I appreciate that. What would you be like, hey, you have the wrong person, and I just know that. Is that what you would say? I mean, how do you go about?
I saw that guy at that time.
Okay. That's good. I like that.
Miles away from the crime scene while I was hanging out with Drew.
All right. I
wouldn't do that for all my friends.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. You're very that's very nice. Have you ever had any have you ever been put in a spot without disclosing too much information, and that's really put you in a real bad moral?
I have. I think everybody's kind of probably been in this situation, but calling social services.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but sometimes
I think everybody's kind of probably been in this situation, but calling social services.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but sometimes it's hard to do, but sometimes it's really needed.
I've seen a couple people one friend and one distant, not real family, but it wasn't even remotely family, but I didn't know the actual living conditions, but I just saw the kid every once in a while because their dad was marrying into our family, or was not marrying into, but the brother of somebody who was potentially marrying into.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a bad situation to be in.
Yeah.
Where it's like, do you call when you like, and it was bad enough where I definitely should have.
Oh, sure.
And I did not.
Yeah, that's hard. I shouldn't have asked that.
I mean, I know plenty of people have been in that situation, and it's real easy for people to go, yeah, I would do it. But when it's not like those people didn't love their kids.
Right.
They just weren't equipped to be good parents.
Okay.
And they tried.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. I mean, I've also been in a situation where I saw somebody that I care about to cheat on to stop them.
Yeah.
But it didn't work.
Well, that's too bad.
And they ended up
Yeah.
But it didn't work.
Well, that's too bad.
And they ended up he ended up telling her anyway.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
So it's like
yeah, well, I mean, in that situation, people make their own decisions.
And I will say, in one of those kid situations, I tried to help as much as I could, without giving too much away. Like, I was actually around quite a bit and doing things to try and lessen that burden on them, I guess.
Okay. All right. Okay, here's one. Well, I mean, I feel like this one's a little easier. There's a trolley coming down the tracks in ahead, all right? You're in a place where there's a trolley. There are 5 people tied to the tracks and unable to move. The trolley will continue coming and will kill the 5 people, Rob. There's nothing you can do except... there's nothing you can do to rescue the 5 people except that there is a lever. If you pull the lever, the train will be directed to another track which one person is tied to. What do you do?
You go to the one person.
Really?
Yeah. Why are they all tied to the tracks?
It's like one of those old cartoons.
I mean, one is less than 4. That's less lives affected.
Okay.
I mean, that's a no-win situation, like...
All right. Well,
you do what you can with what you have.
I mean, breaking this down, I think we can sum up that you're a good citizen. Except for if you win the lottery and you want to, and 100 other people need help.
Sorry. I'm allowed to be a little selfish.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not disagreeing that there was a incorrect choice.
That one, I'm pretty positive that that's exactly what I would do. Mm-hmm. All those other ones, it's like in the moment, it's like things can change.
If you were,
but that one, I feel like,
yeah. I mean, we've talked about this before. The argument of flight versus invisibility.
Yep.
But say you were just given that you have the ability to be invisible. What do you do with it? Really, the only answers are I would just steal a lot.
Spy. I would spy on the government.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'd go to Area 51.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And see what's going on there.
I would definitely fly for free for sure.
Oh, well, I was technically stealing, but okay.
Yep. So, I mean, I wouldn't be perfect, but...
That's a good idea. Fly for free. Just go anywhere you want.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Just be pretty cut and dry. I think the first thing I would do would be go get on a plane, actually. If I had
and watch the chemtrails?
Well, you can't. There's no rear view window, but I would go find out about chemtrails. Even though the government has come out and said that their chemtrails are a real thing, and it's not just jet stream.
Would you be All right, so you have the power of invisibility.
All right.
You know what I would do?
What would you do?
Great, given the right circumstance, I'd become the most successful hitman there ever was.
Yeah.
You can make tons of money, or rob a bank. There's a moral dilemma. All right. So you get the power of invisibility. Okay, you with this power, you're like you're given two choices. That you have to become a hitman, get paid a ton of money, but you have to kill a lot of people and you can't ask questions. You just kill these people. It can be high profile people and stuff like that. Or you go into a bank, completely rob them to nothing, but that impacts all their customers. Their bank accounts are zero, and they cannot recoup that money whatsoever.
Bank.
Really?
Because money's not life.
Okay.
You can't recoup life once you take it. But money, it's like you go broke, you can start over.
Okay.
But in terms of that line of work, would you rather be able to shapeshift or not have fingerprints?
Well, if you're invisible,
I'm not saying invisibility. I'm saying you either can shapeshift,
not have fingerprints,
or you don't have to worry about losing hair fibers and leaving fingerprints.
I don't know. Shapeshift be a lot easier,
but you still leave DNA behind. I guess the question is, do your fingerprints? It's my question. Why am I asking? Your fingerprints don't change.
All right. Yeah, I would. But yeah, I know that guy.
I'm just talking in terms of like committing crimes. If you wanted to be a villain.
So if I'm not a shapeshifter, I just have no fingerprints and I can just go do whatever I want.
Yeah, you don't lose hair. Yeah, you don't lose hair, and you don't have to worry about.
But
fingerprints.
I can still get caught. I look like me.
Yeah, you can be visually identified.
No,
but,
and I'm shapeshifting.
So you either have. I guess it comes down to how do you feel about the justice system? Is it more based on eyewitness testimony, or is it more based on fingerprints and DNA?
Well, they're not even going to think to arrest me or look for my fingerprints because I'm shapeshifting and they're like, oh, there was a woman. I'm clearly a dude. And, if they're not going to analyze every single fingerprint that's there. If I go rob a bank, they're not going to analyze every fingerprint. They're going to try to find a suspect based on eyewitness accounts. And they're going to look at the cameras. They could find me easily without I could be identified easily.
Wear a mask.
I guess. I would shapeshift. 100% shapeshift.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't want to get racial, but yeah, if you shapeshift into a...
Don't.
Well, you're guaranteed to get away.
But you could just go into the opposite
They'll
gender.
find a scapegoat.
Opposite
Do you
gender.
know what's going on in the world right now?
Yeah, I do. But I'm just saying, they could find go the opposite gender. You're covered right there. Become a child.
Yeah.
They're not going to look for some 30-year-old dude if a little 6-year-old robbed them.
So you want to do crime in the middle of the day and just get away with it?
Yeah. They're not going to arrest a kid. That's what I would do. I would be a baby.
Honestly, it's like what's crazy is this question actually does stumble into the question of how our justice system works in terms of eyewitness versus.
It's all about what he says, she says, dude.
You think that's more important than DNA forensic evidence?
No.
You explain that stuff away. If somebody sees a 7-foot tall female running from a crime scene, but your fingerprints are there, you think you'll get off?
Yeah. Because even if they have like video evidence, I wasn't there.
That's a good point. If you have shape-shifting abilities, then I guess I would purposely commit crimes in front of cameras.
Right.
Yeah, good point. All right.
All right. You just wear some gloves or something. I don't know. I mean, if you go places that majority of people frequent, you're going to be fine. If I go rob Walmart, everyone shops at Walmart. Not everyone, but a good amount of people. I don't like committing crimes, Rob. I like being a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, I'm not a big crime committer myself. I would like it if I didn't have fingerprints and couldn't be picked up by like camera, like facial recognition software.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I don't like where that stuff's heading in the future. Personally,
we're gonna be microchipped one day, man.
probably.
They're gonna look into us and they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's what he's doing."
That's what you came up with. Huh? Data's the new something.
Dave?
Data.
Oh, data.
Data's the new something.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what he's doing.
I mean,
These are called jokes in the vague.
we're all just gonna become
Thought you were flipping me off for a second.
somewhat of a no, meet you my we're all just gonna be members of the Truman Show at some point in time.
Well, based on this documentary I watched today,
Jesus Christ. What, you already are?
yeah, it's gonna be bad. No, it's called Cowspiracy.
Cowspiracy?
Yeah, and it's about how agricultural, the meat industry and the dairy industry actually create way more pollution in terms of greenhouse gases, in terms of nitrogen going to the sea and creating dead zones, and but yet every like Greenpeace and all these organizations that are for the environment don't talk about the farming industry as much as they should, because it's such a big industry that you put a target on your back.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting.
Interesting. Well, on that happy note, Rob, we drank Juice Jorts.
It's already that time.
It sure is. We drank Juice Jorts from Maplewood Brewing Company, which they are out of Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago.
Chicago.
That was bad. Sorry, guys.
What do you think? What do you think, Rob?
It's good. I didn't finish it, but I didn't realize how the time kind of flew with those.
With those moral
Those
dilemmas?
moral dilemmas.
They were good. I enjoyed it. I would pick
hope-
this up again at the store if I found it and drink it some more.
I don't, I like it, but this is not my go-to beer. It's too bitter for me.
Yeah.
But
Which is
it's
ironic.
definitely drinkable.
Are you cold?
I am
There's been
cold.
moments where you've been like shivering and it sounds like you're about to cry.
Because I'm trying to hold back the shivering.
It's cold in here.
Yeah, it's with my shoes off, it's very chilly. My feet are freezing.
Yeah. There's a... All right. Well,
I suppose I could put my pants back on. That'd help.
I don't know what's going on because this thing is frozen. Son of a bitch. Come on, program. Don't die on me.
Pew pew audio. Goodbye, everyone.